We try as hard as we can not to think about what this monthly ritual of children practicing how not to get shot really means for our society. But with each passing drill, and with each passing headline, and with each passing image of students crying and parents waiting for children that won't come home, it grows harder and harder to pretend that these drills are normal. I'm Sophie Hutner and I'm 17 years old.
Grace Samuelson, and I'm 17 years old.
I'm Zara Bari, and I'm 16.
Angelique Charlot, and I'm 17 years old.
I'm Sydney Pollenchak, and I'm 16.
My name is Atanuke, and I'm 17 years old.
Did you know that on average 7 children and teens die every day from guns?
That's horrifying. I didn't know it was that many people.
And out of the 96 people that die from gun violence every day, 59 of those people are suicides. And in the past 5 years, 62% of firearm deaths are suicides.
It's really hard to hear, but it doesn't surprise me.
What frustrates me most about the issue of gun violence is, I guess, that it seems like an issue of people dying, you know, and it's not crazy complicated. There is so much vitriol around the issue, there's so much divisiveness around the issue of guns, and it's hard for me to understand because, from my perspective, it's just a matter of wanting to save our children from violence against them and violence against themselves. It's really hard for me to understand how people can still see it only as an issue of politics.
Nothing seems to ever get done about it. Not when it's adults dying, not when it's kids dying, not when it's in schools, not when it's anywhere.
We are going to have so many issues passing laws that'll kind of tighten up gun control because the NRA donates so much to Republicans and Democrats alike, and they have a huge amount of influence in our government.
It's an issue of big businesses that want to profit, and that people have been indoctrinated into thinking that they're somehow fighting for their liberty or for some sort of right that was granted to them 300 years ago, but in reality they're just kind of pawns for companies. And when you think about the fact that only in 2008 really was the Supreme Court case that ruled that people had the fundamental right to own guns. This is a fairly recent phenomenon, and so it frustrates me when people act like this is an age-old right, and it frustrates me that the puppeteers behind it are large corporations in the NRA.
Well, I think that the biggest misconception is nobody can ever touch a gun or look at a gun ever if we have gun control, which is just not the case. If people need guns for a legitimate reason, like for hunting for food or whatever it is, that's fine, but one, it should be regulated like every other thing in the country. And two, nobody ever needs an assault rifle. Like, assault rifles are made for war.
And it isn't unconstitutional because when our Constitution was written, it wasn't written to account for the kind of guns that we have today. People can so easily get access to. And I just urge lawmakers to kind of just weigh the importance of their donations versus lives that are lost every single year from gun violence.
There's always the idea of like a lone wolf, or like this is an isolated incident.
Everybody likes to just call them crazy, and a lot of people don't think about what they might have been experiencing. Recent shooter in Parkland, his parents had both died, and I read something recently that his brother had bullied him a lot, and yet he was given basically no support or help.
Mass shooters tend to have a pretty general profile of being young white men. There seems to be a lack of resources for men to find help.
I can't really address this to the president or the NRA because, again, I know that they're too corrupted by profits at this point, so I guess I would address this to my fellow Americans. I want you to do your research, really think deeply as to why, if you feel you need a gun, what it is you're so afraid of, and whether you think that really would be solved by having a gun, or whether the problem is that we live in a society where we feel the need to be armed.
I'm sorry that you have to fight after you've had this horrible tragedy. You still have to get up and just advocate that people's lives are worth saving.
Thank you for being so strong and supportive and inspiring, because you've really started an amazing movement.
Everything they've been doing to express their voice and not let this one be swept under the rug and into that cycle is so inspiring, and I want to help participate in the new movement they're creating as much as I can.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Enough
Is enough.